Hello there. So, in the latest news is that Somalia is now the eighth member of the East African Community. As you can see from this photo here, that is the South Sudanese president who is now the chair of the East African Community, with the new member, the head of the president of Somalia, who are the newest members of the East African Community. So this now makes 8 countries part of the East African Community, and it's part of the newspaper called the East African that was released today, or was it yesterday? So they're saying the new kid on the block, Somalia has been admitted to East Africa, but the real journey begins now as it seeks to put its house in order and domesticate crucial protocols for trade. And on the side, we have it's official. The East African troops will exit Congo soon. Now, I'll be telling you more about that, but that is the latest news. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do that. Now, this is how it looks like. The old members of the East African Community and the new member, Somalia. So you can see very soon Ethiopia will start applying to also join us. But there is a problem. Some of these countries it's harder to integrate with the East African Community. South Sudan has been a member for 10 years, and even up to now they are not able to integrate into our society, right? And then we have Somalis. These are very hard to even integrate. The fact that close to 500,000 Somali refugees in Kenya, and some of them have integrated to do business in Kenya. They speak Swahili in Kenya and English. Their children attend Kenyan schools. It doesn't mean that it's easy for them to basically, the Somalis back in Somalia, who are about 8 million of them, are ready to, just like the other refugees, integrate into the East African community. And the other thing you need to know is that Somalis are actually very racist people. And they are very racist, that's a fact. They consider themselves more Arabic than African. And they look down on people they call the Bantus. As a matter of fact, Bantu in Somalia is a Asla word. If you call someone Bantu in Somalia, I think it's a word like an insult, right? In Somalia. When I am a Bantu and close to 300 million people in this region are Bantus. I mean, most people in Tanzania and Congo, 99% of people in Congo and 99% people in Tanzania are Bantus. And these two countries already have 150 million people. And in Kenya, Uganda, most people are Bantus. So we are talking about almost 85% of the population of East Africa being a group of people that Somalis hate. They look down on us. It's a fact. And these are the same people we want to allow to come to our regions to work with that. So it's going to be a little bit hard working with someone who sees you in a racial way. But let's move on. What also happened during the meeting of the East African community, besides admitting Somalia and also passing the chairmanship to the South Sudanese president, is that Congo didn't send their own president. They instead sent the Minister of Defense, Jean-Pierre Bemba. And they didn't even send the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So the Minister of Defense came with one message, that by the 8th of the coming month, December, the Congolese government is not renewing the mandate of the East African Community Region of Force, also known as EACRF. And that's what it is in French here. This newspaper covered it well in the same French. It's just what I just told you. They're not going to renew that mandate. And let me tell you why they're not going to do that. EACRF soldiers, these are the Ugandan, the photo here, these are Ugandan EACRF soldiers. Uganda said they sent 2,000 of them to Congo, to the district of Rutshuru. But every day, like just last week, we saw Rwandan troops crossing through Rutshuru at night, unopposed. And this is the region that 2,000 Ugandan soldiers are supposed to be there to stop M23 and to stop other actors entering Congo to create chaos. But close to 200 Rwandan troops were captured crossing through this territory where these guys are at night. The Rwandans went to reinforce the M23 rebels, who are also the Rwandan proxies in Congo. And this is after the M23 was fighting with a group called Wazalendo, and they lost close to 800 of their fighters in the last month alone. So Rwanda has been sending their troops to reinforce these M23. As you can see from these photos, a lot of injured Rwandan troops, and some of them dead, being shipped back to Rwanda. And for the Kenyans, they are also stationed south of the Ugandans, now in the region of Rumangabo. They are stationed in Kibumba and near the city of Goma. And they patrol that road and that region day and night. And we keep seeing M23 going near the Rwandan border to drop off their injured fighters and pick new weapons and new uniform from the Rwandans. So, and the Kenyans know that, and they do nothing. They don't report it. They pretend that they cannot see it. And it is happening during the day. And M23 don't do it on foot. They drive pickups, green pickups. They drive up to this border. They take their injured there. They exchange with the Rwandans in, this national park. What do we call this? Virunga National Park, right? And then the Kenyans are seeing it. Just last month, some Rwandan detergent came and tried to fire mortars at the perceived position of Wazalendo, these Wazalendo fighters, near the mountain Nyiragongo. And they made a mistake. Their drone captured a Kenyan convoy. So they redirected the fire on the Kenyans, thinking that those were Congolese soldiers. And one mortar hit a Kenyan, soldier, hit the Kenyan truck. And the Kenyan soldier died. And the Kenyans pretended that it didn't happen. It took them 2 days to report it and admit that they received fire, and they said they don't know from who, but of course everyone knew who was there at that time. They should have said we received fire from possible Rwandan troops, but that is not what they reported. So they were trying to divert the blame to either Wazalendo or Congolese army. So that's the other reason why the Kenyans should leave. And someone like you may be asking, and why are they there then in the first place? You see, MONUSCO, the peacekeepers that have been in Congo for the last 20 years, are also leaving before the end of this year. And they've been receiving close to $2 billion from United Nations Security Council every single year. More than 2 billion every year to stay in Congo. So they've been making money. And the Kenyan president alongside the Ugandan, they were hoping that they could convince the United Nations Security Council to, instead of now that money being cut off, to divert that funding to EACRF force, so that Kenya can increase the number of troops in Congo, and Uganda can also increase those number of troops they claim they have there, and so that they can be able to bring peace there. So the Kenyans and the Ugandans have been hoping to make money from having their soldiers in Congo doing nothing there. Even if Kenya sent another 1,000, even if they sent 2,000 more, that is 3,000 Kenyans, they'll still do nothing, because they patrol, they don't engage these M23, they don't shoot and fire at these Rwandan troops crossing or violating Congo's borders. So even if they have 10,000 Kenyan troops there, what are they going to do? Are they going to change their mission and start now attacking Rwandans? I doubt. The Ugandans and the Rwandans work together to build M23 because their agenda is the same, to try to capture the district of North Kivu and make it part of both Uganda and Rwanda, so that they can steal the minerals in that district, or that province, in that province, North Kivu. So are they going to really fight their own proxies in Congo? I doubt that. So that's why Congo is saying, we don't want you. Just take your troops before the end of this year. Go. We don't want to see you. And a lot of Congolese people are happy. Very happy, because the other month you saw a huge demonstration and protest in Goma, where the Congolese citizens were protesting against EACRF soldiers. They were also protesting against They were also protesting against MONUSCO. So they don't want them there. They should leave Congo. So that is the latest news. I hope you've understood all that took place on Friday.